Biden warns European allies that democratic progress is under assault.
Here's a summary of the article.
We're at an inflection point between those who argue that, given all of the challenges we face, from the fourth industrial revolution to a global pandemic, that autocracy is the best way forward, they argue, and those who understand that democracy is essential to meeting those challenges, Biden said in remarks from the East Room of the White House that were televised at a virtual session of the Munich Security Conference. Advertisement. Biden, a regular fixture at the Munich Security Conference over the years, affirmed his commitment to European partners and alliances, drawing contrast with his predecessor, who often spurned multilateral organizations and criticized alliances and whose America First approach to foreign policy at times caused friction with Europe. Biden's remarks came almost 2 months after the January 6 assault on the U.S. Capitol by a mob of Trump supporters. Biden issued a firm rebuke of Russia for its aggressive behavior in Europe and cyberspace. Advertisement. Putin seeks to weaken the European project and our NATO alliance. He wants to undermine the transatlantic unity and its resolve because it's so much easier for the Kremlin to bully and threaten individual states than it is to negotiate with a strong and closely aligned transatlantic community, Biden said. While Biden acknowledged the challenges posed by China and Russia, he also implored the global community to work together on shared challenges like the coronavirus pandemic and climate change. Biden announced plans to send $2 billion immediately to support COVAX, the global initiative to vaccinate populations of lower-income countries.
This post received a score of 18,000, with an upvote ratio of 90%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Being USA's friend is like being friends with that alcoholic guy who blacks out every 4 years for 4 years.
They always promise they will change, but the abuse still continues.
We need help and support, please. We're trying to fix ourselves, but we can't quite break our habits.
US-based social media companies are the biggest threats to democracy today. Try regulating them if you want to be taken seriously.
That too. Hard to take someone asking us to stand up for democracy serious, when they aren't even close to being one themselves. Edit. Rather than arguing whether the US is a real democracy or not, my comment was more specific to the principle of clean your own house first before calling others out on theirs. We certainly have our issues over here in the EU. But we don't need crummy media posturing from someone far worse to remind us.
And yet it prevails.
This probably reads as sarcasm, but it's actually not. I'm actually pleased that it's not a solitary opinion thread. Every single issue, every single argument and every single post has been a string of people all agreeing to whichever way their political wind is blowing. While that might not sound like progress, it really is. If we all disagree, if we break tribal camps to shout our opinion, on whatever the subject is.
I disagree with you. I believe the complete opposite. Keep it down, everyone. Agree. Conform. Don't have your opinion. Follow what your overlord says.
I have no strong feelings either way. Tell my wife I said hello.
Your neutralness, there's a beige alert.
My gut tells me, maybe.
America is back. Can we please not be back to backing or engaging in wars and then making shoddy attempts at nation building after we've blown everything to hell? Maybe stopping with sanctions on those countries that won't be bullied while we're at it would be a good thing too.
Daily reminder: the U.S. sanctions on Cuba are illegal and break UN law, and only exist from Cold War-era politics aimed at breaking socialism economically by blocking any trade.
Putin seeks to weaken the European project and our NATO alliance. He wants to undermine the transatlantic unity and its resolve because it's so much easier for the Kremlin to bully and threaten individual states than it is to negotiate with a strong and closely aligned transatlantic community, Biden said. And that's exactly why Putin wanted Trump as the president of the U.S.
Your views are correct in my opinion. For what it is worth, Putin is old-school KGB and undermining governments is his sphere. Getting the Turkish leader to buy Russian missiles put NATO members in conflict, backing and physically helping the rebels in Ukraine, making sure that Assad stayed in power, manipulating Trump using Trump's ego to make him a figure of ridicule.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.